Thank you for joining us, The Ratchet Tower. I'm Christy LaShawn.
PD the CEO.
I am shy girl today.
Only today though. Only today that she's shy girl, not tomorrow.
Today,
So y'all don't look for her
I
tomorrow.
have a lot of different names, so
Her.
you know how I feel.
Well, today our topic of discussion is artists paying to perform. I guess I want to start with PD first.
Okay.
Can you tell us, have you paid to perform?
Yeah, as an artist, I paid to perform before, but I always my whole thing is it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we paid to perform at Bike Week one time, which was a great venue, a lot of people,
Okay.
and it had a big impact. And we paid to perform at Get You One Awards. You know what I'm saying? That was $100. We knew it was going to be packed. It was packed, and it was cool. You know, but would I pay to perform in a club full of artists? Not necessarily. What about you?
I don't even remember if I ever paid to perform, to be honest. I don't recommend paying for it, like extreme prices. Like you said, it just depends on the venue, whether it's worth it or not, whether it's going to be beneficial to you. But like, if you're not really gonna have anybody out there like A&Rs or labels or networking people to network with, things like that, I don't see the benefit of it. But shy girl, have you paid to
Have I
perform?
paid to perform? It's not my. It's like you say. It depends. Like I weigh the options of what is going to benefit me. The only time I would pay is if they were offering other things that
Incentives,
Yeah.
or prizes,
yeah.
things like that. Okay.
And then a lot of time, and then growing up as an artist, because I started my career after I attended college. So I went to college for entertainment business. I got a master's degree in that. So from Full Sail. So I came into it expecting one thing, and then what I realized is they were preparing us to learn the business as far as the industry, but the local industry is totally different. It's totally, you know what I'm saying? So that was a huge shock for me because here I was taught to do it. I paid them to teach me that this is the proper way to do things, and then now I'm starting my career as an artist, so of course you start from the bottom. So it's a whole different industry.
Yeah,
So,
mainstream and underground is a big difference. Is a big gap in a lot of different things.
yeah. So at first I didn't want to do it like that because I was like, what? This is crazy. But then I realized that I'm gonna have to play ball because this is you know what I'm saying. In order for me to build my brand, build my name, get experience and all that, I would have to do it. So yeah, I did it. Sometimes just to see, okay, everybody needs support. So if like let's say you putting on something like I'm like I performed at an event for you before, and so like I'm a supporter because you know what I'm saying, and then I'm also see like okay how much people came.
Right.
See how I benefited from it. See if I did or not. So I did a couple, I did different events to where, I participated. And then it, I feel like at a certain point, when you get to a certain point, because like when you first getting in the game, like you don't have no experience. Like when I began, I was timid, scared. Didn't know how.
Yeah, you was really shy, girl.
Yeah, I didn't know how anybody was gonna react to me because like what I was doing was different. So it was like I would be down to pay if I needed to during that time because I needed the experience.
Right.
I needed to be able to, come alive.
So did paying benefit you in the beginning?
In the beginning,
with needing experience.
Yeah, because nobody knew me on the scene. So
right, but even totally, let's say it was an empty house. did paying benefit you as far as experience wise?
No, I mean, it gave you the experience to say, okay, I may not do this again
So, so
because
it didn't give you
the
stage
outcome.
experience. It didn't teach you how
No,
to
but
talk
I
to the
can't
DJ,
say I
how
can't
to
say
make sure your
nobody I
music
ever.
is right.
Yeah, I can't say I ever paid for something and nobody was really there. Like, to be honest, in the beginning, it wasn't really paid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm thinking about it, like that started to come
Down
later,
line,
where
a lot
I
of
felt
stuff is
like
just free.
some people saw it's a market.
Yeah.
Some people saw that, okay, we do need showcases. We do
Mm-hmm.
need open mics. We do need stuff for artists to be able to come to. So I feel like with anything in business, like people could see an opportunity and be like, okay.
Well, of course, it's and that's one of the best things that you just said. You just said the word business.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that you just said because this conversation sparked from a conversation about boycotting venues where you have to pay.
Yeah.
You know, where artists have to pay to perform. And the problem in that is the fact that the promoter can't boycott paying the club. You can't boycott paying the DJ. You can't boycott promoting if you actually, we're talking if this person is on the up and up, if they actually paying out of pocket and paying these people. You can't boycott the money you have to spend just to give artists that nobody knows a platform.
And the time and energy of
see, that's the thing. I'm not suggesting
right.
that wasn't. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm glad that we were able to have the discussion, because to clarify,
right.
To clarify certain things.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. And when I was coming in the game,
mm-hmm.
then different opportunities, I would take it, because I feel like if it was going to benefit, you know what I'm saying?
I see where you coming from as the artist where you at now, because I've known you for a while.
But I'm saying after a certain time when you
know your worth.
Even as a promoter, even as somebody that's putting on an event,
mm-hmm.
right? Okay, I feel like open mics are basically for people that's just trying to jump in, trying to learn.
It's training.
Yeah. But some people it's not like, that's the play on things. Open mic versus whatever the title says it is, showcase, mm-hmm. or what is a distinction.
Well, if you can come, all right, so let's define these things. If you can walk in the door, pay some money, and perform, it's an open mic. Mm-hmm. Kind of like an open bar. An mm-hmm. open bar, you come in, mm-hmm. The bar is open to everybody. You pay, you can, do what you need to do. Somebody buy the bar, you can't buy any of those drinks. Those drinks are already bought. So if they allow you to come in, then most of the time they're allowing you to go up to the bar and get you a drink, like at a wedding. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When they have an open bar at a wedding, that means, it's open to everybody. You don't have to pay. Come on up, get a drink. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So showcase for specific artists means they got 1 to 5 or 10 different artists, might even be 30 artists that are specified to perform. You can't come in there and pay some money and perform. Mm-hmm. So the mic is not open. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's just knowing the difference in those terms. As far as me dealing with artists, I never push my artists to say, go pay to go perform at this showcase. Right. Reason being is because we already been performing at showcases in front of these same people for free. Mm-hmm. So if you say, oh, it's a showcase in Atlanta, and we look it up on the Facebook page and we see they have good turnouts and the event actually is what it is, you do actually get to perform if you're on the list. It ain't, oh, you at the bottom of the list and I'm sorry, we ran over so you couldn't perform. If everything was on the up and up, pay the money. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
So it's just about knowing the differences in what you're doing. And even when people say time frame, okay, let's say you've been in the game for 10 years, but you ain't never think business-wise to throw your own event. You ain't never think business-wise to go to a promoter and tell them why your fan base would be able to bring in X amount of people for them to book you for X amount of dollars. And that's where the problem comes in at.
That's where I feel like that's where we need to head towards more now versus being hustled. The hustle is the showcase open mic. Okay, pay to perform, and then they telling the artist, okay, what you getting out of it is you getting exposure, so people coming to see you perform. But then see, that's why I had a problem, because like, how can you guarantee me that people actually gonna show up? And it's not going to be just other artists that's there to perform, that's going to be in the building to show up. Because, like, me performing to other artists, that's not going to benefit me unless they booking me.
But I feel like as the artist, you should have your own fan base. So when you go out, if you're performing, where are your fans? I don't get the concerts where people showing up and performing, but where are your fans?
But see, here's something.
That's why but y'all want me to pay y'all.
Here's something that I come... Like, it's an issue for me as far as when I reaching out to people to tell them to come see me at shows and different things like that, they asking me, are you going to get something out of it? Like, is some of the money going to you? Like, a lot of people don't feel like they should come to these events and give these people the money. And it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's not benefiting me. So they feeling like they... You know what I'm saying? They supporting the people that's putting on the event.
So you in a catch-22 then. You in a catch-22 because what you need to graduate to the next level, you're not going to have because your fans are saying, hey, if you're not getting paid, we're not coming. In order for you to get paid,
and that's what people need to understand.
Right.
That's what people need to understand.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But they have came in the past. Like,
yeah, but that's the point. That's the reason why everything relies on business. See,
and it's not set up. Charleston is not set up.
That's the point. Charleston is set up for business. Charleston does plenty of business.
Just not
the people
correct
who feel
business.
like business isn't correct is the people who aren't getting paid because they're not doing business. See, when you go to the studio doing business. Hey, I need my money. When you go to a producer, he doing business. Hey, I need my money. Mm-hmm. When you go to a videographer, he doing business. Hey, I need my money. Now, the artist business... Unfortunately, artists are the last people. They're the last people to get paid. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they have to pay everybody first in order to get a product. And then when they have a product, they have to actually put on their big boy, big girl pants and go sell to the people. And if they don't sell to the people, then that product will never make them money. And that's the unfortunate thing for artists. You see what I'm saying? It's no different than like a person who's did a movie. You know, most of the time you go and try to get funding and they say no. Then you say, all right, I'm gonna take my own money, I'm gonna go do it myself. Then you go do it yourself. And then you go run around trying to sell it to people. You done spent that money, you trying to get your money back. And most of the time they telling you no. But maybe if it's good enough, somebody will say, here's a check. You still the last to get paid because you probably had to pay actors, you probably had to pay your camera people, probably had to pay, craft services, everybody, pay for venues, pay for places.
One thing a lot of artists don't invest in is marketing and promotion and stuff like that. They don't even promote themselves.
And then they say, oh, well, it's janky.
Just because you make a good song don't mean that it's going to promote itself.
Can we back it up a little bit? Because like you brought up how the artist like is the last to get paid, mm-hmm. like how you say we pay everything. Like I don't think that people really really realize that, because it's like you're a producer, right? And so like I hear a lot of producers complaining about artists don't want to pay for beats, right? Mm-hmm. So the producer want to be paid. You gotta book the session. You gotta pay for that. Mm-hmm. You gotta now when that is done, you gotta copyright this. If you want your songs protected, mm-hmm. all of that, you gotta pay for that. You gotta do have basically
publishing, have everything. Yeah.
Everything. So it's like I don't think that. I mean, everybody wants to be paid because they thinking about their bills. They thinking mm-hmm. about this and that. But I don't think enough emphasis is placed on what the artist is going through. That basically you got to be a millionaire if you basically got to pay everything, every time, every way, every which way. It's different ways to pay. It's different ways to pay.
You gotta learn how to work your resources.
My service, but as an artist, when you book the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the baby is on the show, the baby is not. He's not the one that's going out and say, "Come to the show, come to the show." He's not the one that's supposed to be out there promoting the show. No. Of course, we're not on that level to where it's like that, but some of us are. Some of us, not even speaking just for myself, like I'm very aware of some of my fellow artists that puts on a show when they perform, the whole place be rocking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that doesn't matter because that doesn't equate to dollars. When you book the baby, all the work the baby did years prior, from his first mixtape to his first trash song, that's what sells that show. It's not the promoter with a flyer saying the baby.
No, I'm not saying. I wasn't bringing that up to that point because I wasn't even finished like making my point. But what I'm saying is, at what point? Okay, if everybody else is getting paid for everything, and then I pay you, like I come to your studio and I pay you for my session, and you might even be the producer that that produced it, and I pay you for the beat, and you still own it. They don't tell you that. They don't like some producers. You buy a beat, they can resell it to somebody else. It's not put in terms of you saying business is being done, like tracks is being sold, but that's just because it's sold.
That's why you get money.
That's not definitely that's not business, and that's what a lot of things is not being done the correct way, to where is like we're not having discussions to where is this an exclusive beat, like okay, so if I pay you for this beat now and this song blows up later, do you still technically the producer still owns that beat, so they can come later and make demands on you and say da 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 this and that, like I own this and that, like
that's why you have your paperwork.
You going in circles, but you saying the same exact thing. Like I gave you an example, Old Town Road. The low boy who produced that got paid like $300, $500. That song was number one for like 15 weeks. He got paid $500.
Exactly, and he
lost out in the long run. Do business. He didn't do business correctly. So what you're saying is, I'm an artist. I'm running around with people who not doing business correctly. I'm not doing business correctly.
Because
but it's everybody else's fault.
They just hustling. They're not. But they don't have their stuff established.
They can't hustle you if your business is correct. If you come to them with an agreement, with a split sheet, and you say, listen, you produce this beat, so all right, publishing wise, you are entitled to 50%.
But the local, they don't need, the producers themselves don't even know that. That's what I'm saying.
But you can bring it to them. But I've even had a producer that didn't want to sign it, so I didn't want the beat.
Exactly. This is all like if you
because you know what time it was.
You can't be afraid of heights and decide you're gonna be a window cleaner and then be like, I gotta work on these high buildings. No, you knew what the job was before you jumped into it. And like you said, you went to school for this. So anybody who knows, especially if you went to school, you talked about contracts, you talked about number one rule in the industry niggas is shady. So you already know that from the jump when you decided this is what I want to do as a career path. So from that understanding, a
lot of us ain't just decided we want it. Like some of us, it's like a call, like it's a calling. Like we don't say like some of us it's just like this is just who we are.
It's still a decision because it's still a business decision. Yeah. Even if you got called, it's still no, because what you're saying is you're talking about being an artist with a fan base. I use somebody locally, Mason Jar Music.
They can put on their own cost.
Mason Jar Music decided we can do our own show. And we can do our own thing, and we can book our own venue.
That's what I'm trying to encourage artists to do now.
But what you're saying is these are the only things when that's another option. When you say, how do artists get paid? An artist get paid by actually creating a product. See, when that promoter creates an event, he created a product. Now he comes to you with the terms. Hey, do you want to perform? And then you say, oh yeah, I'd love to perform. So you accepted the terms. Nobody talked about money. You didn't talk about it. They didn't talk about it. And let's say you talked about money. Let's say you talked about
That's
money.
what I'm
Let's say
saying.
you say
Now we need
no,
to
but
talk about it.
let's say you as an artist, you own your business.
She's
shit.
ready to get paid.
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's say you as an artist, you own your business shit, and you say, yo, I at least got to get $50 for the show. And let's say the promoter says, okay, you got to get paid $50. I at least need you to bring 10 people at $10 a pop. See what I'm saying? You done heard of that. Somebody done
People
told
don't
you to
wanna
sell.
do that.
No, but listen,
But
somebody
that's
done-
what an event
Somebody done
is.
told
That's what
you-
an event is. If people paying to get in, and then they expect you, okay, if you on this show, tell people that you're on the show. They want you to promote it to tell people, okay, come see me at the show. And so we do that.
Once-
We tell people to come
Some
see
people
us.
do that.
They
Terms.
come.
But you're
But
setting
they
these
getting
terms.
the money.
But you're setting these terms. You're not talking about money. You accepted the terms. I came to you and said, do you want to perform for free?
But
You said
that's what I'm saying.
yes.
But that's what
Do
I'm
you want to
saying. An
perform for
artist.
exposure? Yes.
That's the only. What I'm saying is, unless you're an artist that is putting together your own events, which is what I'm saying now that more artists should do, get together and put on their own events versus doing all these pays to perform because they're thinking
See, that's what I've been
they're
doing.
providing you something. What I'm saying is don't pay to perform unless it's actually like, okay, you got the branding agency, right? So I'm saying, okay, so you do interviews, so pay you if you want to pay to do the interview. Okay.
Well, it's not the pay for the interview. It's just like a registration fee.
Yeah, I know.
To keep
I
the show
understand
going,
that.
you gotta pay for your
I
SD
understand.
cards
It's all
and
that
stuff.
you gotta pay.
Business.
So then you do a showcase, and so that artist might also do your showcase. And then if you got another service you provide, and that same artist is like loyal to you, and on more than one occasions, they coming to you and giving your service. But what I'm saying is the problem that I see is when do the artist that's coming to you, because it's a million producers that I can go to. It's all kind of different people that I can reach out to, and this is why I don't work with certain people in Charleston. Like that's why I would rather work with another producer, because it's like, where's the love being shown back? Because it's like, even if I do a song on your beat, when the song come out, you don't mention it. You don't, like, you got your money, so you satisfy everything is that. So I'm saying, when do people give back to the artist that is coming to your events, paying to play, doing everything, that's showing support to
I
you?
can't speak for everybody, but for myself,
But when do we get something back
I
from
just
it?
started doing the events again, but I never charged artists to perform, like never, like. So, and then a lot of them unappreciative. A lot of them don't support themselves. Yeah. So why should I waste my time? I should charge something if I'm the one fronting all this money and then no fans come.
But that's when you decide on who you work with versus.
All right, so
that's why you decide on.
That's why I took a year break, and then the event that I just had with the Worldwide Media Source, it was great.
So exactly, you got promoter, you got artist, you got
when the
promoter.
Final product come out, nobody
artist.
even buy out. Nobody even that we
But
supported.
That isn't.
They didn't even.
That's like what you're saying. It's not your job to promote the venue, right?
But
it's not the producer's job to promote your song. No, what you're talking about still stems from.
Because if I be on the show and I don't tell nobody about it, then people tell me you.
And see, that's
you're
why
not promoting.
That's where
but
I
that's
think.
Not my job.
That's why I think we have to draw a line.
To do it.
That's why I think we have to draw a line. Because what you're talking about is, hey, I did your interview. I paid the $25 registration fee. Mm-hmm. Then I came and I did your show for free. At what point do I get shown some love? Okay.
Not even love.
But let me say, no.
Not even love, because if
you was talking about good faith, so let me just say that. You wasn't talking about money. You wasn't talking about business. You was talking about good faith. You was saying, I paid your registration fee. You interviewed me. You asked me to do your show. I came and did your show. At what point does an artist get something back? That was your
I'm
question.
saying, no, if you paying to do the show, you paying. They act like I'm saying. We talking about paying.
Okay,
To perform.
yeah, but my point still
I
stands.
have people
You're
pay
saying
like
you
if they
pay
want
the
to get on my
registration
roster after
fee.
I already got my roster. You want to get on? I gotta squeeze you on. That's a fee.
But
I don't have artists just paying like the people I have slots in. They already in slots.
But what I'm saying is, if you put on the showcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why can't okay, if I'm participating in your showcase, why you thinking my payment is just exposure? Why can't something be put on the table to where, okay, you providing these other services, if I'm paying you to perform, which I'm supposed to be the one that's being paid to perform. Really, when you get to a certain point and you can perform, like nobody can say I can't perform. Nobody can say, like, I did my own show. I have already proven that I can bring people out to the clubs and stuff like that. And then people be like, well, why don't you put on your own shows? I'm an artist. We already tell you about the million things that artists got to do. That's like, an artist can't be an artist because we're supposed to be creative. We're supposed to be creative. That's what the artist is done. And then you have promoters who are their job is to promote. Then you have a manager. But when you are an independent artist, you're doing all of this
that
yourself.
by yourself.
That takes a lot of energy.
So
y'all acting like we just want a handout. No,
it's not even that.
We're doing everything that we possibly
It's not even
can.
that. For one, you talking to two other artists.
Right.
Let's be clear.
That's what I'm saying.
For one, you talking to a CEO who had a whole bunch of artists who paid how much in studio time? Who paid how much for beats? Who paid how much for videos? Who paid how much for promo? Nothing. The only thing they had to do was work. But here's the point.
Are you with the label?
I'm not with a label.
Here's the point. Everything you're talking about is terms that you set.
But I'm not. What I'm saying is the artist is getting a bruise and rape. Like everybody want everything from us. Everybody want to be paid for everything. But then when it's time to pay us for what we do, then it's a problem. And then people saying we're complaining.
When is
it's a problem when.
Hold on, let me ask this because this is real in regards to this conversation. When is it time to pay an artist for what they do? When
they perform. Like if you have an event. And the only thing that's happening during this event is the people that paying for slots to perform. And that's the only thing that's happening. People coming and they just coming to see.
Right. So you don't have no bar. Right? You don't have no bar. It ain't women coming in there. They just coming to see the artist.
That's what I'm saying. The club is benefiting because, of course, people in the building. If you selling food, people gonna buy food.
Well,
you selling alcohol, people gonna buy it. Of course,
let me say this. When people come to the club, majority of people come into the club.
Why not just book a club just to play music and then just say I have an event?
You ever book like like if you ever look at events when people book places that are not a club?
Yeah, I've been to one recently.
It's hardly anybody in there other than the performers. Why? Because most people come to a club because they was coming to get some drinks. Already. They was coming to shoot pool. That's the reason why at these events people talking and it's noise even while you're trying to perform because they didn't come to see these artists.
But when the
what
night
you're talking
is
about is an artist
specific thing,
right? The night is always booked for that specific thing. Like when it's booked for karaoke, it's booked for karaoke, but it's still somebody in there playing pool. It's still people at the bar. It's still people ordering food because those people came for those specific things.
So why not?
But it's a group of people that came to sing karaoke.
Why not just?
And what they do is they sing karaoke.
So why not just? Okay, so why do you need art? So why are artists being booked to perform if the clubs and everybody's still gonna be there anyway? If they still gonna be there anyway, then why is that a market for us to? Why do people use that as a way to make like they want to throw an event? They want to have artists come. So paying a slot, that's a way to pay to book the club, this and that. That people are including that into. Okay, the only way let me see how I can book this club. I got to make some money. So I got to get vendors. I got to get this and that. And so as one part of that is, okay, I'm going to use these artists. I'm going to give them a slot. Say you paid a slot and now that's part of my fundraising. to even book it,
Right.
right?
It has nothing to do with your talent. It has everything to do with your money. And when you as an artist understand
but I'm
that,
saying if that's the primary thing,
mm-hmm.
the only event that people just come in to, and they don't even really, some events they play other artists' music like until everybody come in, and then they just straight up have performance. Like it just depends on how it's set up. It's different, like different times.
If you walk in the door with 20 people at an event, and all 20 of your people pay to get in, they ain't walking in with you, they ain't your sister and all of them got to get in for free. Like if you walk in with 20 paying customers every time you do an event, it is your fault you're not getting paid.
Right.
It's your fault.
Because that's half the.
That's 100% your fault.
But that's what I'm saying. But if that's the only thing that's being in this market, if that's the only thing that's people doing to where pay to perform here, and that's the only thing that's being provided, at what point, like that's what I'm saying. We've been asking that, but then people have been saying no, because like they want to keep it this way. We've been saying that for years.
You're accepting terms. See, that's the thing. If I, like, for example, if somebody come to me and they say, oh, PD, I want you to shoot my video, and I remember you used to do 2 scenes for $35, that's what I want. Nah, bro, that ain't my price no more. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I want. So I see you on Friday. If I show up on Friday and they pay me $35, it's my fault. But if I say, no, that's not my price, send a deposit to the website, pay the rest before we shoot, and they do that, and I show up, it's my fault I got paid my price. If I show up for the price that they told me, that's my fault. And so what the artists are doing in this city is they're not doing business.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I was saying.
Most of their beats say purchase your tracks for free. Purchase your tracks now. Most of their beats say that. A lot of the beats that they get that are not from YouTube or purchase your track now is from YouTube. I mean, from a homeboy who they come in asking for homeboy favors. A lot of them go and record.
And I ain't never done
right,
that.
but you talking about what you do. So let's talk about you specifically. You specifically. How many people can you promise to bring in my venue? I book you a show in the next month. How much people you can promise to bring into my venue?
Well, I can't promise anything because, first of all, we got a lot of people that say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, what I'm saying is, at this point, in the beginning, I had
20 to 50 people, something.
I could do that. I can do that. If I put on my own concert, and yeah, I can guarantee that because you want to know why? I'm going to sell tickets. I'm not going to leave it up to the door. I'm not going to say.
So after I give you these tickets, instead of charging you to pay, you can sell those tickets and make your money.
But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, if I sell these tickets, then if I get to keep the profit, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But everybody don't do that.
Trying to get on my show that I didn't ask. Most of the people be done hitting me up, and I already got my slots filled.
Okay, so I don't have a problem with stuff
or I might
like
leave
that.
a couple just in case somebody
because it's structured to where I can benefit in some way, and then now, hell yeah, I'ma go sell these tickets and do that because now it's benefiting me into where I'm not just benefiting from people in the door seeing me perform.
But a lot of them artists lazy, don't want to sell their own tickets.
At the end of the day, because I think we about to lose the room. At the end of the day, this is what it comes down to for all of the artists. You want to get paid, you're going to have to actually show some value. The reason why somebody will pay an artist is because that artist can provide some value. If you can't provide some value, not just you performing, because like you said, it's 1 million producers, right? You can get beats from. So why you at my door, right? So the same way it's 1 million producers, it's 1 million artists. You know what I'm saying? The reason why the baby is going to get booked and he's going to get his 80 grand is because he can bring in a profit that's over that 80 grand.
But that's if he could only
bring in $30, nobody's booking him for 80 grand. So that's the point. When I say, how many people can you promise me that you could bring in? See, he can promise me over $80,000 in sales. That's the reason why I'll pay him $80,000. If he could only bring me 40, then I pay him
So
40.
what you saying is no? Oh, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. I'm gonna ask you. So what you saying? So you saying that the artists today in Charleston? You saying a lot of us that we can't do that?
I'm
No, we
saying
can do it. That's just how we do it.
I keep
Because
it. I
that's
keep
the
it.
argument. Everybody,
I keep it all the
they
way.
always
I
tell
keep
us,
it all the way
you
real
gotta
with you.
do this, but if
I keep it all the way real with you. Most events that, most open mics that you go to, is it a lot of artists performing in front of artists or artists performing in front of fans?
it's a mixture. I mean, sometimes, in some events it has just been just the artist, but then some events it has been, it just depends. Like you don't know because
so majority of the events that I filmed at for years and years and years, over 10 years there, majority of the time it's artists performing in front of artists.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might have came in with their wife. Mm-hmm. Somebody might have came in with their wife and their wife friend. Somebody might have came in with 10 fans.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, majority of those artists walk in alone. Mm-hmm. They don't walk in with other people paying. You see what I'm saying? So if you walk in,
you can't really walk in like everybody ain't gonna show up at the same time.
They're not gonna show up at the same time, but you get what I'm saying. You trying to take it more literal.
No, I'm just saying, like, but I had to clarify.
Because if you came in with your wife and your wife friend, y'all might have came in separately.
I can
the
tell
whole point is you have to be able to bring in. At the end of the day, it's a business.
But how you know I'm not those? That's what I'm saying.
Because you telling me you can't.
If there's no system for you to say, okay, if y'all having these showcases, right? So if there's no tickets being sold or anything like that, or when people come in, are you telling them who you came to see, or like how is that being quantified to where how you know?
Well, I can tell you right now.
Coming to see.
Let me tell you right now.
Who and
I observe at these events since I've been doing this blogging. And
but
stuff.
what I'm saying is that needs to be established so we can.
Let me show you. Let me show you what I saw. Let me tell you what I saw. The event I just been to in Orangeburg, Team Rez been in there. The whole club was already packed. It was packed. But when Team Rez left, that's when I knew who the crowd came to see. That's how I knew who brought the crowd. Because he had about 20-something people with him. And when he left, they left. And that's how you knew that he was there.
I am the party.
Like almost half the side of the club was
booked
gone.
Me for the party because I am the party. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I put you on the flyer, because you are the party. That's the reason why in Charleston they put 500 people on the flyer. Why? Because 2 people gonna come because she on it. 2 people gonna come because she on it. 2 people gonna come because she on it. Unfortunately, that's terrible. Now, if you are an artist and I say Shy Girl's coming, immediately Shy Girl fans should be running, getting tickets and ordering. Oh, the pre-orders is already sold out. We already got Shy Girl sold out.
Who doing pre-order events though?
They selling them online.
Yeah.
A lot of people doing events where they sell online tickets.
Ticketmaster
in Charleston.
Yeah. I'm talking about over the past.
I don't know. It seemed like you think Charleston in the Stone Age, but it's people that like really make money here. Artists that really make money here. Unfortunately, other artists who don't have that fan base, they don't make money here. And if you're not making money here, it's because you don't have that fan base. Just being honest.